Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome, friends of the Artelino Company. Welcome, friends of Japanese prints. And welcome, friends of contemporary art prints. I'm Dieter. I'm your host for this video today, Dieter Vanschura. And I happen to be the owner of a little family company with the name Artelino. And we've sold art prints, mostly Japanese prints, in weekly online auctions since 2001. And in today's video, I want to present a few selected art prints from our current auction. The current auction has the number, and we started consecutively with the number one, has the number 1753. So by now we are 21 years old and exclusively online. However, we operate like a conventional auction house because we run our auctions always during a specified period, and it's always 1 week from Sunday to Sunday. But enough for talking at the moment. Let's take a look at a short slideshow of a few of these selected prints from our current auction, number 1753. I've picked out a few of the items, a few of the artworks that we have in the current auction, which I want to comment a little bit. Let me begin with two Japanese scrolls. Unusual. Normally we sell prints and not Japanese scrolls. And you must know these scrolls come in a three-dimensional wooden box. And we have two of these. That's the second one. And when you go to our sell page, where we specify which items we don't want, you will also find scrolls. So why do we offer scrolls? And on the other hand, we say we don't want scrolls. These scrolls that we currently offer, or that we've offered now for a few months, and we still have maybe 15 left, they come from a huge collection of a very, very good friend of ours, and therefore we made an exemption. And this collector, he decided to separate himself from these scrolls due to age, and he is a very knowledgeable person. Therefore we can trust in his expertise 100%. Because scrolls is a tricky market. There are so many fakes. And the other reason why we don't want them, the effort to prepare them, making descriptions and especially photographs, and then pack them, ship them, they are three-dimensional, come in wooden blocks. We cannot combine them in one package with flat prints. So this effort is 5 times higher compared to a flat print. So last chance, unique chance to get one of these Japanese scrolls, wonderful Japanese scrolls from a fantastic collection. Okay, but we don't have only scrolls in our current auction, with roughly 127 artworks, nearly all prints. Contemporary, old, ukiyo-e, everything a little bit. And one of our best consigners and one of the best contemporary printmakers, mokuhanga printmakers, mokuhanga, Japanese for woodblock prints, is Paul Binney. And we have 2 prints by him in the current auction. And this is somewhat unusual for Paul Binney. A female nude print with a black background. Normally he doesn't make any black backgrounds, but here he did. And this had some consequences for him, because normally the traditional Japanese prints, they have black key lines, and I will demonstrate that with the second Paul Binney print immediately. This does not have any of these so-called key lines, and the reason probably, my assumption, the black background. Take a look at the other one, and there you see, I mean, collectors of Japanese prints know what key lines are. And these key lines, they require a special block, the so-called key block. And there, take a look at that. Small black lines. And all traditional Japanese prints or modern prints made in this traditional style and traditional technique, they nearly always have these key lines. Utamaro, Kunisada, Hokusai, Hiroshige, all these prints are made with key line blocks. Okay, two wonderful prints by Paul Binney. Paul Binney is the uncontested master of contemporary traditional Japanese woodblocks. And another excellent Japanese printmaker, Ryusei Okamoto, a pupil of Toshi Yoshida, and for many years, well, the assistant, the right hand of Toshi Yoshida. Ryusei Okamoto is especially famous for a series called First Love, where you see young Japanese girls. Well, this one holding a cute cat in her arms. I'm not showing all these prints that we have on a page that I created last night, where I show you some selected prints from the current auction. But you find these in our content section. Where is it? I want to demonstrate that here. Okay, here, and don't miss to go to our educational section, and there you have videos and articles. And here in the article section, art auction 1753. But back, to our next print. Our next print is from the end of the 19th century. It's by Chikanobu Toyohara, and it's from a series called Chiyoda, oh no, wow, blam blam blam. One of his famous series about the Chiyoda Palace, and there's an interview inside the walls, the Chiyoda Palace. This is the residence of the Japanese emperor until today, and the empress, and was made towards the end of the 19th century during the so-called Meiji period. And the Meiji period was a huge jump of Japan from a medieval country to a modern, westernized, industrialized nation. And of course, this had also a huge impact on Japanese printmaking. And Toyohara Chikanobu is a kind of a trailblazer from the old to the new, from the traditional Japanese printmaking as it was represented by Kunisada, or still by his contemporary, by Yoshitoshi, to the modern Shinhanga art movement of the first half of the 19th century. The subjects of Chikanobu Toyohara, they are very traditional, retrograde, you see remains of their samurai palaces. But when you look at the style, how it is made, for instance, how he makes clouds, this is supposed to be a cloud. On an old ukiyo-e, a cloud would never have been made in this way. And then look at the background. This looks like hazy mist, and this has nothing to do with old ukiyo-e. They could never have done that. And these are already typical features of the modern Shinhanga art movement, which picked up features from French Impressionism. Okay, but enough. I didn't want to talk that much about that. But I'm always carried away. Sorry. There's so much to tell about Japanese prints, and also modern contemporary prints. And now, prints from the Shinhanga art movement by Koza Nohara. And now I have to explain you something. When I wrote an article 10 years ago, I wrote in this article, you will never find, or will hardly find, any reproductions of Shinhanga art prints. This is no longer true, my dear collector friends, my dear art friends. Recently, more and more reproductions of old Shinhanga prints have come into the market. By Hasui, for instance, and by Kozon, for instance. And okay, and I'll show you this here. We have 2 prints by Koza Nohara in the current auction. This is an original. And now I show you a reproduction. This is a famous design by Kozon. And this reproduction is of excellent quality. Please read the description in the current auction of my American-Japanese wife, Yori. She talks about this company that does it, about the carver. And what is a reproduction and what is original? For Japanese prints, an original is only a print that is pulled from the original block or original blocks. And when this block is not used for what reason ever, it is no longer available, it burned in a fire, or it was too much worn out, and new blocks are carved, and these new blocks, they are carved by hand, yeah? And they are, especially for this one, of excellent quality, but nevertheless, then they are reproductions. And now I explain you, why do we suddenly have reproductions of Shinhanga prints? It's very simple. There's a copyright, an artist copyright, which lasts, I'm not quite sure, 60 or 70 years. It's different from country to country, but 60 is the worldwide standard, or 70. And for many of these Shinhanga artists, this copyright has now expired, and therefore everybody can carve a block after the original one and bring it into the market without violating copyrights. Okay, so much about Shinhanga copyright reproductions, original. I want to finish with one of my favorite contemporary artists, Osama Sugiyama, also a pupil of Toshi Yoshida, and he is specialized in mountain prints. He's, by the way, one of our best sellers. Everybody likes these mountain prints, where he makes images of his own experience. He is not only an excellent printmaker, woodblock prints only, but he was also an exceptional hiker and climber and mountain enthusiastic, just like the Yoshida family, Toshi Yoshida, Hiroshi Yoshida. Well, maybe he'll get a few of the genes from his master and the father of his master. Anyway, I want to close with Osamu Sugiyama. There are no reproductions by him. I'm sure there will never be any. And they're still very affordable, so it doesn't pay to make reproductions. And Osamu Sugiyama is still alive, well, he's roughly my age, and still making new designs. Okay, let's finish now with Osamu Sugiyama and our current auction, 1,753. It will end tomorrow, October 10, 2022. Take a look at our auction catalog. There's fantastic material in the current auction. And I hope to see you again for our next video. Until then, take care and goodbye, my friends.